I think that was not for the speech, okay? So anyways, as you heard in my introduction, an artist, a national para-athlete, and a proud Indian dwarf. That's what I am. As you see in this picture, it is not just me, but my entire family, my mom, dad, and my brother, who I lost a couple of years back in a road accident. We are a dwarf family. So when I go back home, I actually feel home. You know, it's like I meet my own people. Now, coming to something that I'm here for. I don't want to talk about dwarfism and create sympathy at all, but I just want to tell you that how being a dwarf, society created an impact on me, or how I am creating an impact on society. So a couple of days back, when Mark told me that I have been invited for TEDx, I said, wow, very nice. I was very happy. But you know, like this happy? So I said, very nice, Mark, it's tremendous. And he said, this is for the second time. So I said, okay, tell them that we both are going. So he said, no, they need one speaker. I said, yeah, 2 half equals to 1. So we better go together. So, thank you. So this was of course a joke, and I slept over it. But in the morning, Richa texted me and said that Disha, Mark wants you to talk at TEDx. So I was like, oh my God, matlab patthar feka aur lag bhi gayi. So I said, all right. And I wanted to tell her that, Richa, please don't take it serious. It was just a joke. But then for a minute I thought that if I'm getting a platform to voice something that will not just talk about me, but the entire community, let me do this. So here I am. My story begins with something back when I was in college, when I was amongst of you, and not an MBA student, but a college student. In 2003, my first failure for life was that I couldn't pass my final exam, and that was my first failure, okay? I failed my exam, shattered my entire career, and according to society, I wasted 1 full year. So, shattered parents, shattered me, and one poker face uncle who always made me feel that you are a loser for life. You failed once, you are a failure forever. So I was tagged a failure in 2003, and I thought now I cannot do anything. I just have to do is whatever people tell me. But during that entire time, you know, I was wondering that is this it, you know, because it was not just academic failure, but it was one more failure that was added to my life, that is physical hindrance. When you have a physical hindrance since birth, you are already dealing with a failure. I was dealing with it as a child. So one failure that, and second an academic. So I said, okay, now do what? So a lot of people advised, अरे छोटा सा कोई course कर ले, कुछ और पढ़ ले, शायद तेरे से होगा ही नहीं कभी, you can't really study. And that was not the fact. It was not that I was not good at academics. I loved studies, but not something beyond that what I loved in something else, you know. So I said, okay, now I have to match the pace. There are students who are going a year ahead. There are my parents who are having a hope, and everybody is turned into a failure just because of me. So what do I do? So I started looking for an alternate option, and I pursued this small course of graphic designing just because I have an inclination to art. So I said, let me do this, and I might find out something better. So I started pursuing this career, and in 3 years' time, I was not just a graduate, but a graduate with an additional degree called graphic designing. While I was so confident and happy about that one additional degree, there were several other things where people started telling me, oh my God, you pursued one more degree, ab to teri naukri lag jayegi. And I started giving interviews after interviews after interview. And there were series of 15 to 20 interviews which I simply failed not because I was a normal graduate and a degree holder, but because I have a physical deformity. That was the biggest problem. But when I came to TEDx, and when I told people, you know, after this 10 year, 15 years gap, when I told people that I'm going to TEDx, and I started flaunting about it. You know, when you're a failure, you want to flaunt about something that you achieve. And I was flaunting that I'm a TEDx speaker now. And everybody said, fantastic, Disha, it's a great stuff, and it's a dream come true. So for a minute, I thought, yes, it's a dream come true. But then again, I gave it a little more thought, and I said, is this a dream come true? Not really. Because I saw an opportunity, I knocked the door, and I said, let me come in. This is what I exactly did with Mark, and this is what I did with my exams also. Couple of years later, when I was out with my degree, finding for a first job, I got this job after 18 interview failure. I got my first job. I started my career as a DTP operator, and I am now a creative and a digital professional. With 13 years of experience, I worked with India's best brand and best of people. Thank you. And I'm really proud of that one thing that I've achieved. And in 2017, by that time, I was 10 years a working experienced person, a super confident lady and everything. And I was extremely happy with life. I said, kar liya, jitna ek dwarf kar sakta hai, sab kuch kar liya. But in 2017, something really funny happened to me. So I belong to Bombay, and I was traveling in a local train from Andheri to Virar. And there is a special coach for a physically challenged people. I boarded the train in that compartment. And I was with my mother, and sitting across me was Mark Dharmai. So for a while, he was just staring at me. And you know, when boys stare at you, you are not very comfortable. And when somebody looking same like you and staring at you, it is even not more comfortable. So that gave me a little discomfort. That there was a discomfort, and I already rejected the boy. Okay, so and then you can't really look at me like this. But then he was staring at me, and he just told my mom that, is she your sister or she is your daughter? My mom said, she's my daughter. Said, okay, can I talk to her? My mom said, of course. And then he came next to me and he started showing me pictures. You know, I'm a world champion. I bagged a gold medal. I played World Dwarf Games. I am representing country for several years. I said, okay, but I'm not marrying you. So he said, it's okay, you don't marry me, but you take my number and you give me your number, I want to talk to you. I said, okay. So I shared my number and I'm like, okay, I'll talk to him. So next Sunday he calls me and he's telling me, Disha, what are you doing? I said, nothing, it's a Sunday, regular Sunday, chilling at home. He said, okay, come to Bandra at St. Andrews College ka sports ground. I'm like, why would you call a girl in a sports ground? Just because you're a sports player, sports mein bulaoge. I said, okay, I go there, and now I'm in front of him. And the first thing he told me was, Disha, you know what? You have a very strong upper body. I said, what? He said, yes. He said, you have a very and you know, someone I don't know what to say. I'm like, okay, very nice. Then he hands me a 3 kg metal ball and he tells me, you have a very strong upper body, just throw this. I said, I want to throw this on you. So he said, no, not on me, on the ground, because you are going to be India's next Indian para-athlete. So I said, all right. And I actually threw the ball upon the belief that Mark had in me. I threw the ball, and trust me, in one year's time, I turned out into an Indian para-badminton player, a para-shot put, and a para-discus throw. Now, if I have to say that this was a dream come true, then this was not. Because I never dreamt of becoming a graphic designer. I never dreamt of becoming an athlete. I never even dreamt of being anything. If I ask you what is your dream, you will say, okay, I want to become a doctor. My serious answer to this is like, all right, you want to become a doctor? There are 10,000 other people who wants to become a doctor. So this is not your dream. You are not owning it completely. I mean, you don't have control over something like this. But if something is coming on your way, and if you just try to make little better, if you just try to do something about it, I'm sure it turns out to be a dream. And then people start telling you that it was your dream come true. So this was my story of an academic failure turned into a creative professional, and a story of a commoner who was nobody else but just a simple working person in Bombay turned into a national para-badminton player. Now this is, thank you. Now, if I have to connect the dots between impact on society, then it is not the society, but it is this man sitting over here who created an impact on my life saying that you can do it. And it is the impact that ingrained in me by my parents who told me that, Disha, it's okay, failure is not your life. It is just you do something better with whatever you have. And I exactly did that. But does this end here? I mean, see, it sounds really well, everybody is applauding, I am happy, oh my God, sab kar liya, TEDx pe bhi aa gaye, life is set. But is this what we actually do? Is this what we are, is this how we even taste the success? I don't think so. Because while I was doing everything that I did, there were people who were being judgmental about what I did. There were people judging on my appearance, judging on my actions, judging on the way I worked, judging on every single thing. I had to not just prove myself in academics, in career, in sports, but almost everywhere. And this is what we do, right? We are purely judgmental people. We judge people by anything. And that's the assumption that we keep in our mind, and it's forever digged, and till that we have the same assumption. So I said, okay, judgment bhi hota hai, log bolenge, kuch na kuch to tumko fir bhi karna hai. But what makes me whatever I am today is the fight with the judgment that I had a couple of years back. When I was a child in a school, and my parents told me, especially my father, he told me that Disha, for a dwarf, it is a handicap certificate that government gives you, so that you can get some government facilities, and you can do some good things in life. So you should just go and get that certificate. And trust me, for many, many years, I never even considered myself as a handicap. But I said, okay, if that is necessary, if nothing, train mein concession mil jayega. Let me do that. So I went to this hospital which issues a handicap certificate. And I was standing there in a queue, filling up my form. There comes a lady standing next to me, and she told me, can you please help me fill this form? So when I looked at her, she was somebody who was 100% visually challenged. And I was like, okay. And I, of course, have to offer a help to her. So I sat next to her, and I started filling her form. And I asked her questions. While I'm asking her the question, she asked me the same question. What is your name? What is your disability? Where are you from? So then the question when I asked her, what is the percentage of your disability? She said 100. I said, okay, very nice. So I wrote about it and everything. And then she asked me, Disha, what is your disability? I said, I'm a dwarf. She said, what does that mean? Because for somebody who was visually challenged since birth, will not really know what a dwarf is. So she said, what is dwarf? I said, we have short limbs, short hands, short legs. So she said, okay, and? So I said, that's it. I said, then, she said, how is it possibly that you are a physically challenged person? Your body is intact, you have lost no part of your body, and you are still physically challenged. You should not even get 10% quota. That day, I realized one thing. Pooja was not blind. She had a vision to look beyond something that is there. She had a vision to look She had a vision to see something that you don't even know about yourself. Pooja did not understand what dwarf means, but I understood that if this is the way I behave like Pooja, stop being judgmental, stop being judging myself, being anybody else, I think it is possibly helping entire society. And that's the impact that I want to create on the society. I just want to tell each one of you sitting here that the smallest of vision we have, if it turns into a judgment, if it turns into an assumption, it is going to destroy almost everything about you, everything about the person sitting in front of you, and everything about anybody. You create a statement. So Pooja, as I said, did not lose a vision, and I did not lose a hope. I understood that it is all about being judgment, and it is not about your dreams. It is just you chase something so hard that you go for it, you get it. And that's where in this entire journey of dream, sports, academic failure, I stand here, again, same, an academic failure turned into a creative professional, a commoner turned into a national para-athlete, and a person with no vision turned into a non-judgmental person. I want to end my speech with two biggest sentences that has changed my life. One is, even if I have lost searching for my destination, I will still go back where I started. Okay? And second, don't be so judgmental, because you don't know what were the choices the other person ever had. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.